Welcome to Spirit Connections with your host, John Holland.
Hello and welcome, everybody. This is John Holland. Like the man said, this is Spirit Connections, and happy Monday, everybody. New week, and today, March 24th, unless you're listening to a replay. And where's March going? Whoa, that's fast. And we just celebrated the first day of spring, although today's weather doesn't show that. But you know what I do, guys, around this time? I go out and buy flowers. If the flowers aren't blooming outside, which they can't really with snow on them here on the East Coast, then bring them in the house. So when I see daffodils and daisies on my kitchen table, it kind of makes you feel good. It really, really does. It's all about an energy thing. And by seeing those flowers, you know that spring is a-coming. So this is the show, Spirit Connections, where I help you to explore your own inner guidance and help to confirm that we are so much more than these physical beings. We are and always will be spiritual beings with unlimited potential. Great show today, guys. Great show. Numerology. Are you curious about numbers? Do some of you see the same number coming up over and over again? Have you ever had a numerology reading? I did. Can numbers really help us? Can they really help us? And can knowing we all have a certain life path number, and today's guest will help us with that, can knowing your life path number really help you in your life? Want to know more? Then this is the show for you today, right here on Spirit Connections. Today's guest is numerologist and Hay House author, Michelle Buchanan. And I met her in Australia at an I Can Do It conference. Lovely woman. A lot of energy. And I kind of knew she was going places. It doesn't take a psychic to know that. And she's got a book with Hay House. She has a numerology oracle cards I'd like to talk about. She's been on Hay House Radio with Diane Ray before. She has an online course coming up. A lot to talk about. So we'll get her on here in a minute. So we're going to take your calls, guys, and I believe what they need is your birth date. And then she will quickly go in there and give you a reading. Okay, but before we get into that, I have so many questions for her. And you know what? I'm going to just throw her right on here on the line because you know how the show goes. There's a full line of calls already being booked. And this show, as you know, goes very, very fast. Okay, so let me welcome today's guest, Michelle Buchanan. Hey, Michelle.
Hey, John. How are you?
Oh, I love that accent. And how lucky are we, everyone? She's calling. What time is it? 10:30 at night or something? Or 10 o'clock?
It's not too bad, actually. It's 8 a.m. in the morning. So
it's the other way around, of course. That's of
course.
Yeah,
but it's the next day. So to me, it's actually Tuesday here. So I'm a day ahead.
Oh, all right. Well, good morning, Michelle. Welcome. Good afternoon. We're here on Spirit Connections. And, like I said, I did meet you a little while ago down at the Hay House conference. I Can Do It. And I should have known. I mean, you were, a lot of energy, beautiful blonde coming up and, Michelle, so welcome and congratulations on your success. But a lot of people, some people have heard of numerology. They see the same number. For the people who don't know, I've had the subject of numerology on before, but it's been a while. So for the guests who don't know anything about numerology, or if they're a first-time listener, welcome. And if you are a returning listener on Hay House Radio, Spirit Connections, I'm always blessed that you're listening in. What is numerology?
Great question. Well, everything in the universe has an energy vibration, and numbers have energy vibrations or frequencies also. And Western numerology, which is the system I use, was actually created by Pythagoras, the Greek mystic and mathematician, 2,500 years ago. And really what it is, John, is every single one of us, from our original birth certificate name and our date of birth and the name we go by today, have a set of numbers. I call them in the book the 7 core numbers. And they're basically a blueprint that will tell us what the path is in our life, or the blueprint of our life. And the beauty of it is that numerology can uncover two areas. One are like the personality profile numbers, the 7 core numbers that will tell us what our pre-chosen destiny is, what our life purpose is. And other things such as personality traits, our major life lessons and what we're here to overcome, as well as career choices and those kinds of things that will resonate most with us. But it also covers the forecasting side of things. So, not so much the numbers that tell us about who we are or why we're here in this life, but the forecasting numbers tell us the energy or the environment around us in a given period of time. So we have some idea of, hey, my life is leading me, or the energy around me is leading me in this specific direction, so that we can sort of be aware of that and adjust ourselves accordingly, and if you like, be more in the flow of the natural energy around us in our life, which, of course, when you go with the flow instead of against the grain, things can run a lot smoother for you.
Beautiful. And can you do this by just people's birth date, or do you the full birth date, the day of their birth, the month and the year, or do you also need their full name?
Good question. Well, what it is there are 7 numbers in total, okay, and you can get a lot of information from just the birth date. And it's sometimes when you don't have all the name information, you can get a lot of information from the birth date, and that number is called the life path number. That's the total of our date of birth. But how I work is I tend to take all the information together, the birth certificate name, the date of birth, put it all together and come up with all those 7 numbers just for greater accuracy. And so for the people calling today, I'll have a birth date, and what I'll do is, I've only got a first name at this stage, but what I can do when I've got them on the phone, John, is I can ask them for their birth certificate name if they're willing to give it, and calculate it as I go along when I'm speaking to them live, if that helps.
And you can do it that fast?
Yeah, I've got a software program here, and providing they don't have about 8 middle names.
Excellent. And
I can do it as I go along.
You can see you're passionate about numerology, Michelle. And how did you begin? What makes someone interested in numerology? What started you?
I was blessed. At 21 years of age, and I'm 45 on Friday, so it's like almost
Happy
44
birthday.
years ago. Thank you. Basically, I guess it's destiny, and it is in my numbers, funnily enough, that I was just to discover something like this. When I was 21, I thought I knew everything, and I was going through a bit of a rough time in my life, and a friend said to me, what do you think about numerology? And I said, well, it sounds like a bit of rubbish. I didn't really know anything about it, but I thought I'd never had a direct experience with it, but I thought I knew everything. I was a bit of a dickhead, if you like. So anyway, she said, look, don't even say anything. Just go in with an open mind. I'm going to gift you a reading with this woman. Just go along and see what you think. I went along, and this reading changed my life because it was so accurate. But more importantly, John, it was at such a turning point in my life, and it was so meant to be that it really just touched my heart. It helped me to make peace with myself and understand myself so that I could begin to take responsibility for my life, and it showed me my potential, so that I could sort of start to live my life a different way. And it was so meaningful and profound to me that first of all, I wanted to be sure it wasn't a fluke, so I investigated it for that purpose. Then I investigated the numbers for other people I knew. And then when I saw there was something in this that was so life-changing and empowering, I was then on a quest to help other people do the same and to have that same thing happen for them that happened to me. And that's really where it started. It just became this passion or obsession, if you like, that still continues, and the fire still burns, if not brighter, even almost 34 years later. What is it? God, I don't even, 24 years later almost, and it's just incredible.
And once you know numbers, just like, if someone gets an education on colors, just like with numbers, Michelle, I imagine you look at numbers all the time, whether it's the bill at the end of your dinner, or your check, or someone's address, or do you look at numbers like in a whole different way now?
I do look at numbers in a different way. I look at house numbers, and I also look at the year that we're in and the month that we're in, because and that other people are in. For example, things that happen in the news where someone might have taken their life, a famous person, or troubles going on, and I'll look at their chart, and I'll look at what year they're in and look at what's going on around them, and you can see the pattern, and you can understand. You're like, well, no wonder. And even mobile phone numbers or cell phone numbers and car number plates and stuff. But you definitely do look at numbers in a different way, because it's a code. It's like a universal language, and it's almost like you're in the inner circle. You understand what the universe is telling you when you're aware of what it is.
Right. When it comes to numerology, once somebody knows their chart or their number, are there better romantic matches to match up to your number?
Yeah, that's a good question. Some numbers are more compatible with others than, with numbers than other numbers are. But because there are like 7 numbers, for example, it's a bit of a tricky thing if you want to get an accurate match, because the life path numbers, which are the total of the date of birth, for example, those 2 numbers on paper may not look like they're compatible. However, your life path number may be compatible with the other person's name number. And so it's a matter of looking at the bigger picture rather than just taking 1 or 2 numbers and seeing if those are compatible. And so, yes, the answer to that is yes, but at the same time, sometimes opposites attract. And sometimes those traits that the opposite numbers from us have, we need to adopt in our life so that we can be more balanced. So it's a very interesting subject, that whole number compatibility thing.
Well, a couple of times right now, you said there are 7 numbers. What do you mean there are 7 numbers?
Yeah, well, what it is I call them the 7 core numbers, and I have to say core because in New Zealand I say core, and you guys won't know what I'm saying. So I get those 7 core numbers. They work together as a team. They're like a family of numbers that tell the whole picture of a person.
Okay.
And, yeah, they come from the birth certificate name, the date of birth, and the first and last name that person uses on a daily basis today. And so the original birth certificate name, even if someone was adopted and only had that name for, say, one day, or even if they hate that name, they don't use that name is still going to give us what is called the destiny number. And the destiny number tells us what we're destined to do and what we're destined to be in this life. And when we change our name through adoption or marriage, or we just simply don't use that name, or we use a shortened version of that birth certificate name, that number is there for life. It's never, the new name number doesn't replace it. The new number simply adds another dimension or another number to the existing family of numbers. Yeah.
Right.
And so if you want to be really accurate, and I tend to be, a bit what we call anal here in New Zealand. I don't know if you say that.
Yes, we do. Yes.
You do. Anal with regards to when I'm doing a reading for someone, I feel it's my duty to give them the most accurate reading I possibly can. And so even though it's a bit more challenging working with so many numbers rather than just taking the easy way out and just doing the life path number from the date of birth, I feel it's my duty to reveal all I can as accurately as I can. So it's a bit trickier, but it's more accurate.
Excellent. And you have the numerology guidebook, Uncover Your Destiny and Blueprint of Your Life. And that came out in December, not too long ago, so congratulations on that. And is the book for beginners? If someone got this book, and you can get it, everyone, on numerology, on Amazon, the numerology guidebook. Michelle Buchanan is who am I speaking with, if you're just tuning in, numerologist. And, will this book help a lot of people who are, new to the subject?
Absolutely. I mean, the book is designed for people that don't know anything about numerology, and it's done in a very easy-to-understand, step-by-step way. But also people that may be familiar with numerology, they're going to find a lot of additional information that they didn't already know. There's the easy guides of how to work out the numbers and the 7 core numbers. But there's also another chapter that's all about forecasting. So you know the time, the energy around you, you know what numbers you're in, you know what to expect. So you can take advantage of the opportunities that may come your way, as well as be aware of the challenges. But there's also other sections in there that you won't find in any other numerology book, such as manifesting by the numbers, how you can use your numbers and manifestation tips for the law of attraction. So with regards to how to manifest your goals and dreams, certain numbers have strengths and some have challenges. For example, a number 4 is a very practical number that finds it hard to just believe in just any old thing without evidence. And number 3s have a really good imagination, so they're really good at visualization. They can easily imagine the things they want, but at the same time, 3s get bored easily, and if the results aren't coming in fast, then they give up. And, so there's all kinds of little tips in there that, according to each of your numbers, as to how you can manifest with the law of attraction a lot more effectively. And there's even parenting by the numbers. So you can look up the numbers of your children or grandchildren and have an understanding of who these little guys are and what their life purpose is.
Oh, so and you can steer them. Yeah, if you find one's creative in their numbers, you can steer them towards and see if that works.
Yes, you can say if they're creative in their numbers, I'm not going to try and push them into law school or to be an accountant, because that's just not how they're wired, Right. And numerology, it's not, you can use it to, I don't want to say you can predict things with the numbers, but you certainly could use numerology as a guide, as a good day to get married on, a good day for a contract, or a bad day to do this, a good day, correct? Absolutely, yes. And it shows you how to calculate, your year number and your month number, so the year is the major vibration and the month is the month vibration, and then how to calculate your day number. And you're dead right, some vibrations are good for generating income, some are good for, moving forward and taking action, and others are better for just sitting and waiting, and others are better to focus on relationships, others are better for personal development. It's just a nice little handy tool to have so that you have a greater awareness of what's going on around you.
Yes.
Because like I said, we're living in a universe of energy. Everything is energy. And numbers are just another energy. They're just another form of energy. It's like a little code that if you're aware of it, it's like, oh, I'm one step ahead of the game now. I understand,
Absolutely.
On a deeper level what's going on in my life or anybody else's life too.
Right. In numerology, you have to, for everyone who's listening, there's days to a calendar, there's clock time, there's numbers, the universe and the planets spin to a certain amount of time, a certain numbers, you're born specifically at a certain time. So I really do believe and always been a fan of numerology, always. And I noticed also what another great product you came out with is the numerology guidance cards or the oracle cards, which is great. And I love what you say in the last sentence. These cards weren't designed to predict your future. They were designed to help you create the future you desire. So brilliant on you, girl. You got the cards, you got the book out, and everybody, you want to know about Michelle Buchanan. Let me spell out her name for you, okay? And it is Michelle with 2 L's, Buchanan, BUCHANAN.co.N as in Nancy, Z as in zebra. And she's also listed, if you go to my website at johnholland.com, you hit the Hay House Radio logo, you'll see today's show. Her link right to her website is there also. And Michelle, we're going to take the calls right after the break, guys, but she did something for me. She did something for me. I didn't ask her. She wanted to give me a numerology reading. So by reading for me, everyone, you'll see hopefully what your reading's going to be like if you're one of the lucky listeners right there. And as you can see, Michelle, we got a full board of calls too, which is fantastic on Spirit Connections here. So I'm just gonna hand over the mic to you, and you tell me what my numbers reveal.
Okay, sweetheart. Well, first of all, the first thing I have to say, John, is thank you so much for having me on your show.
Sure.
It's such a huge honor because I love you and I love your work and I just admire you so much, and so do so many people in the world. But thank you for being you. And before I get all upset and emotional, I just want to thank you because I just have so much respect for you. So thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It was an honor to do your numbers, and that's something I've always wondered about, what your numbers were ever since I first saw you, when I first saw you speak in San Diego a few years ago. So, and of course, no surprise, you have some of the most magical numbers that a person could possibly have. So let me tell you all about them. So what I did was I got your birth certificate name, your date of birth, and of course John Holland, which is the name you use today, your name. And so what I've got, John, I've got these 7 core numbers. Now remember I said that life path number, which is the total of our date of birth, okay, is the most important number out of the 7 core numbers. And if we were only allowed one of those 7 numbers, this would be the one we'd ask for because it gives us so much information.
Sure.
And if we calculate, now there are several ways to calculate what is called the life path number from our date of birth. But the way that I use and the way a lot of other numerologists use is what I call in the book the adding across method. And that's where we get the date of birth and we add it across by putting a little plus number in between each individual digit. And for you, that number comes to 22.
22, yeah.
And when we're working out life path numbers, or any number in numerology actually, the rule of thumb is to continue to add together any double numbers until you get a single-digit number, unless we come across an 11, 22, or 33. And if we come across one of those numbers, an 11, 22, or 33, they are called master numbers. And master numbers stay, they then become an 11-2, a 22-4, or a 33-6. And master numbers are basically souls that have not necessarily lived more past lives, but they have accumulated a lot of wisdom in the past lives that they have lived. And master numbers are very few and far between. In fact, I can tell you Wayne Dyer is a master number 11, Doreen Virtue's a master number 11, you're a master number 22-4. Very rare. And I wish I had known your numbers before I wrote my book, John, because I would have used you as my example of a 22-4 in my book. But I used the Dalai Lama instead, so you're right on par with him. There you go. So you're a 22-4, John, and what that means is it's called the Master Builder, and it means that the 22-4, their life purpose is to simply build something that is of benefit, or promote something, or teach something, or get the information or the message out there to the people, to humanity, that is something of great benefit to humanity. So if you think of the Dalai Lama, he's out there promoting peace and, world peace and happiness. That's his big thing. And it's funny because you're also born on the 20th of the month. Now, if you look at the number 20, if you add the 2 and 0 together, it's a 2. And the 22-4 is a double 2. So there's a lot of that beautiful 2 energy, and I know you're not supposed to have favorites, but number 2 is my favorite number because it's the cooperative peacemaker. It's a beautiful healing number. It's intuitive. It's highly psychic, and no surprise there. But it's a number that's here to bring peace and harmony and healing to the world.
Right.
Now, if you look at those two, just even those two numbers, the 2 being born on the 20th and the 22-4 master number life path that you are, the 2 is here to bring healing, and you do that through the messages and the connections you offer people that have lost loved ones. The 22-4 is getting information out there to humanity that life exists beyond the physical.
Right.
To see the truth of what's really going on in this life, to see what happens beyond the veil. And so on one hand, you're actually directly giving readings and teachings that create healing and peace for people, but you take it one step higher as a master number would. The master number is to step up to the plate and go, how can I expand at a much deeper level than just on the everyday or just by individual people? Let's take it bigger. Let's get deeper. Let's be grander here. How can I make a bigger difference? And you do it with that beautiful 2 energy, which is all about intuition, healing, peace, loving, nurturing. And so I would love to be in your circle of friends or in your family, John, because you've got such a beautiful heart. You're such a loving, caring, giving person, and those that know you know that. Other interesting numbers you have here is your destiny number. Now, our destiny number is the total of our birth certificate name. And we get every letter of the alphabet has a number that it corresponds with, okay? And we add all those numbers and letters up, and we break it down to a single number, and that gives us our destiny number. And you are a 9 destiny. And 9 is Louise Hay's number. 9 is the compassionate humanitarian. So 9 is also the number of Gandhi and Mother Teresa. So the 9...
I'm in good company.
You're in good company. But that's why you would have been drawn in your life to doing things that are of service. 9 is very service-orientated. 9 is very much for, like if you weren't a medium, for example, if you didn't have the 2 or the 22-4, you just had the 9 with some other numbers, you may very well work in a government sector. You may be in the health sector, education, counselling, even art and creativity.
Love art.
Yeah, are you artistic or creative?
Totally, yep. And I came out of my mother really drawing. I never went to school. I would win college contests for my age group, and I took an art class once, and the teacher said, "Where were you trained?" And I went, "This is my first figure drawing class." And so, yeah, and I was born, drawing.
Wow, that's amazing. Because a lot of 9s are either artistically creative or they're involved or interested in the performing arts.
Right.
And again, Louise Hay's an artist. She paints. She's a 9 life path. And so no surprise that you came out drawing, out of your mother drawing. I love it. It's hilarious. Also, we have what's called in a numerology chart the soul number. And the soul number is basically where we get that original birth certificate name and we calculate just the vowels. Okay? Because the vowels in a word, the vowels are the heart and soul of a word. And so we get the heart desire or the soul's urge. In my book, I simply call it the soul number. And that tells us what your soul, the energy of your soul, again, number 7. No surprise there. Anyone that's ever heard me on Hay House Radio always hears me say, whenever I'm on Hay House Radio, there's always heaps of people listening or teaching on Hay House Radio with a number 7 in their chart. Because 7 is the spiritual number. 7 is the deep thinking truth seeker. The 7 is here to uncover the secrets and mysteries of the universe and to discover their spiritual truth. What was religion or spirituality like for you growing up, though? Were you
Okay,
sort of
hold
told
on,
to
Michelle.
believe
Let's
one
finish.
thing, or?
We'll finish this as soon as we come back, everyone. This is John Holland. Today's guest is Michelle Buchanan. We're going to go to commercial. We're going to finish up, have a couple of announcements, and jump right to these calls, okay? And then you want to know about Michelle, you can go to my website, johnholland.com, and click the Hay House logo, and you'll see her address right there, okay? And back with the numbers. This is John Holland on Spirit Connections. And, of course, this is Hay House Radio, radio for your soul. Be right back.
Welcome to Spirit Connections with your host, John Holland.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. If you're just joining me, today's guest is numerologist, Hay House author, Michelle Buchanan, and her website is Michelle, with 2 L's, Buchanan, Buchanan.co.N as in Nancy, Z as in zebra, or you can go to johnholland.com and hit the Hay House Radio. You'll see the link to her site. She does charts. She does readings. She's the author of the Numerology Guidebook on Amazon, the Numerology Oracle cards. You know, this is fantastic, guys. And I love numerology. I learned it many years ago, and it's still with me even today. We're going to jump right to your calls, and Michelle is calculating numbers as we speak. This weekend, where am I going to be? Where's John Holland going to be? At the I Can Do It conference in Denver. So looking forward to this. And not only do I love doing these, presenting and helping people connect to their loved ones, you will see me in some of these lectures, because when you look at this lineup, oh my God. Okay. Also coming up I will be in Fort Lauderdale in April. I have an advanced master mediumship class coming up. Well, that's sold out. Sorry about that, guys. But I will be doing a 5-day if you're interested in mediumship, and those tickets go on sale April 1st. Anything you want to know, go to johnholland.com, guys. Okay. Because I don't like to read out my whole entire schedule, or join my email newsletter, guys, which comes out every other week. I see so many people posting on Facebook, I wish I knew this was happening, this event, or how come? Because you're not on the newsletter, guys. I don't post everything on Facebook, but, the newsletter goes out to everybody. If you open it and you get it, it's fantastic, okay? And I'm just going to ask Michelle. She has an online event, which I love. I love online events because you can sit at home in your pajamas and just relax and listen. And let me get Michelle right back on the phone, right here on the mic.
John.
Hey, Michelle. Michelle, tell us about the online event, when it is and what it is.
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, it's actually next week, and it's called Your 2014 Numerology Forecast. And what it is it's going to tell you your forecast for the year, but I'm going to show you how to forecast, what your forecast is for the rest of the year, but what you need to do with those particular numbers to make it the best year it can be. So it's giving you your forecast, but it's also showing you what you need to do to be in harmony with that energy to increase, the success in your life. Also, I'm a law of attraction practitioner. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm also going to be giving manifestation tips for each of those numbers, because there's 9 personal year numbers and months, and showing you what you need to do manifestation-wise for those numbers each month for the rest of the year to be able to manifest your goals and dreams, okay? So it's double-sided. It's like a forecast. We're going to show you how to forecast each of your months so you know what's going on around you for each of the months that you're in, but also tips that are going to show you what you need to do with that energy in order to manifest the things you want.
Excellent.
It's
okay.
April 1st Pacific time, 4 o'clock. In New Zealand and Australia, that's actually April 2nd. But the beauty of online seminars, as you know, John, is you don't have to do it live. I've got a lot of people, especially on our side of the world, they're working, so they can't sort of be online and do it live, but that doesn't matter. You just register and everyone gets a downloadable MP3 recording of the seminar to listen to at their convenience. And it's only $20.
I see that.
Yeah.
I see that. 2014. Get it? $20.14. Everyone, I just put that in my Facebook page. If you go to John Holland Psychic Medium, you see my Facebook page. So there's a link right to this numerology online event, a 2014 numerology forecast. And for $20, guys, she is amazing. And I know so many of you are waiting, and some of you are saying, pick me. So let's go right to the phone, Michelle,
absolutely.
with the time that we have. Who do you want to, and tell you what, too, everyone who you choose, Michelle, I think they should get a book or an oracle deck.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so who would you like to do the reading for?
Well, and also everyone that I'm going to give a reading to online today on your show is going to get a copy of their chart from me. So if they find my website and email me through my website, I will send them a copy of their personality profile and a 12-month forecast. of their numbers.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and anyone can go to my website, sign up to my newsletter too, and get a free forecast each month of their numbers for the month. It's a recording. You just press play and it'll tell you what's going to happen for the month.
Excellent.
But let's go to line one, Brenda.
Okay, we got caller
line
number
one.
one, Elizabeth Brenda Novak. Oh, gave out the whole name. And hey, Elizabeth.
Hi, how are you? I
Good,
go by
good.
Brenda, but that's okay. Elizabeth is fine.
Okay.
Hey, how's it going? Are you well?
Yeah, it could be a lot worse. Could be a little less challenging, I suppose, but that's life.
Well, I can tell you why,
Okay, good.
if you like. Hey, I'll tell you one thing. Hey, good on you listening to John's show. Isn't he the best?
Yes, wonderful.
You in love with him too? I think we all are, aren't we? But anyway, let's not give him a hard time. Let's get back to you. Okay, Brenda, well, what I've got here, sweetheart, I've got your birth date is December the 2nd, 1962. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Excellent. And as you know, we've got your birth certificate name. Now, the reason I took your call is because your question asked, would like to know what my essence number is for the year. Now, John, Brenda's asking what her essence number is, and that is really awesome question because not many people even know what that is. So, Brenda, well done you for knowing numerology enough to know what an essence number is. How do you know that?
I learned it from you. I bought a chart from you, and it had the essence number in it, and it explained a little bit about it. So,
wow, good on you, Brenda, because
thank you.
that's a really important piece of information. The essence number, everybody, is a number. We all have a personal year number that tells us what the energy is or the forecast is for us for the year. Okay, we all have that number. It's a personal year number. But you see, the essence number is another number that's quite difficult to calculate on your own. It's often calculated through a software program because it's quite a tricky number. But this number gives us an added insight into the personal year number. So it's more information that's going to, again, create more accuracy. And it's interesting that you asked that, Brenda, because if you were to just read your personal year number for the year this year, which is a 3, it would look like you're going to have this happy-go-lucky, fun, social, creative time.
I know. That's what I was hoping, but it's so far not happening.
I know, but here's the thing, darling, and that's why it's so cool to know the essence number, and that's why I took your call, is because the essence number that you're in with that 3 year is a 16-7. Have you ever heard of the 16-7 essence number before?
No.
All right. Well, the 16-7, now, it sounds a lot worse than it is, but it's actually a really good thing. All right. Now, John, you know the card deck, you know your psychic tarot card deck, and any tarot deck, card 16 is the tower.
Right.
Okay. So in numerology, card number 16 is a 7, but it's 16. That's also the tower energy, so it's the same meaning. But what it is, Brenda, is it's basically an opportunity for you to rebirth your life, okay? So what's going to happen is you may find that there are things going on around you. They may either be out of your control. They could be health issues. They could be issues to do with your personal life or even just things that are going on around you that are going to cause you to reevaluate the most important things in your life. That are going to cause you to question, who am I, where am I going, what do I really want, what's really important. So it's almost like out with the old to come back with this new force of more positive, more powerful energy so that your life can then move forward from a much stronger, more healthier platform, if you like.
Okay, so the questioning happens this year, but the answers don't necessarily come this year. Is that right?
The answers will come as soon as you're willing to do the work and take a look at it. So what it is the answers aren't going to come out of you. This is a time where it's almost like that hermit energy in the card deck also, where it's about going within to get the answers. And see, the more you're willing to do that and the more honest you are willing to be with yourself, as well as the more faith you have in spirit, in the universe, in God, in whatever it is you believe in, it's about building faith but also looking within at the same time. And the more honest you are with yourself and the deeper you look, as well as the more time you put aside for this. In other words, less running around, killing time with sort of TV or other meaningless things, to go to sit and meditate maybe, or to maybe take up yoga, or to look at ways of investing your time into you and developing your relationship with you, getting to the answers of who you are and what's important for you. And also building your spiritual faith. You know, how much faith do you have that you'll be taken care of? How much faith do you have that there is a greater force going on that we can tap into that can help us to improve our life? And the more you invest in those two areas, the sooner the answers will come. And they're not necessarily big, profound, out there, big, crazy answers. They can just simply be subtle things.
Mm-hmm.
But because you're in a 16-7 essence with that 3-year, that's one of the reasons why it may not be as quite as footloose, fancy-free and fun and cheerful as a 3-year is supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, but the beauty is... Sorry, what were you going to say, darling?
Sorry, I was going to ask if the essence number runs from my birthday last December to this December, or is it a calendar year thing?
Yeah, very good question. Very good question. The essence number runs from birthday to birthday. So this essence number, fortunately, it only started on your birthday, and it will end on your birthday.
Okay.
Some people have their essence number for a longer period of time, but in your case, the 16-7 is really only here for that 1 year. Right. So that you can use that year to go within. But here's the cool thing. When you have your birthday in December 2nd, it goes to an 8 essence number, which is about business, career. Yeah.
So, listen to her. Oh, good. Please. Jesus.
I've been looking for work for years. I've been it's getting pretty scary. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good.
So, and one last thing I just have to tell you before I take the next call, Brenda, is you are a 5 life path number. And that means you need to be careful not to over-dramatize things that are happening in your life, okay? I don't want you putting yourself in the spin cycle of the washing machine and making things a lot worse than what they are, because they aren't. And you have a lot of gifts with regards to people and communication, and you're a wise old soul. You've got a 9 destiny number, just like John. You're born on the 2nd. You've got a 6 soul. You've got a lot of love to give. You're a natural counselor. And I want you to start believing that good things are coming to you, all right? And anytime that 5 wants to make things more dramatic than they are, you pull it in, you go, I'm not buying into it. Everything is well in my world, all right?
And Michelle, with Brenda, it's okay, Brenda, and, thank you for listening. Michelle, the deck or the book?
Yeah, what do you want, Brenda? Do you want the book or the deck of cards?
I'll see the book.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much.
All right, you stay on the phone, and Joe's going to give you, take your name and address, and we'll get you the numerology book by Michelle and send it right up there to Canada. Okay, so Joe, if you can give her the numerology guidebook by Hay House, that'd be greatly appreciated. All right, thank you, Brenda. Okay, who's next?
Yeah, well, let's go to line 8. On line 8, we've got Susan, and Susan's from New York.
New York. Hey, Susan.
Hi, John.
How are you?
I am well, thank you.
Okay, say hi to Michelle Buchanan.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Susan?
I'm really good.
Thanks for calling in. And what was your question, sweetheart?
Well, I actually have a book coming out this year with Hay House.
Hey.
Wow. Amazingly, in August, and I just wanted, general guidance for, like what you said, going with the flow.
Instead of against the grain.
Susan. Are you the Susan I've been talking? Are you the Susan that was on my Hay House call the other day and we've been talking on Facebook?
That's me.
Oh my God, talk about meant to be.
I know, it's so strange.
That is crazy. I just got goosebumps. That is awesome.
I know.
Well, let me tell you some stuff, Susan.
Thank you.
The reason I took your call was I calculated your birth date quickly, and it's a 22-4, just like John. So
Cool.
no surprise that you have got this book coming out with Hay House that obviously is going to be making a difference in the world. Am I right?
I hope so.
But that's the purpose of why you wrote it, though, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. You've got the 22-4 life path number, which, as we know, as I mentioned before when I was doing John's numbers, is your life purpose as a master number, is to do whatever you need to do to make a difference in the world, to do something that's of benefit to humanity. Now, you're born on the 12th of the month. So your birth date is the 12th of October, 1962.
Yeah.
And that 12, if you add the 1 and 2 together, is a 3. And 3 is the number that I call in the book the self-expressive creative. And so threes are here to express themselves, obviously, or to express themselves as their life purpose. So your life purpose as a three is to bring joy into the world, to uplift and inspire others through your communication and or your creativity.
I love that. Oh, that's amazing.
Threes are creatively gifted, but there are three kinds of threes. One kind of three are creatively gifted artistically. Other kinds of threes are creatively gifted conceptually. That means that their creative gifts are in their ideas or in their concepts. They may be an architect or an interior designer, for example, or a graphic designer. Their creativity is in their mind and their imagination. And the third kind of creative threes are creatively gifted with words. And, of course, some threes are all three. But the ones that are creatively gifted with words are the speakers, the writers, the presenters, the musicians. And so you are using, in this instance, your creative gifts for writing a book that you've written. And what is the three's life purpose? It's to use their communication and or creativity to uplift, inspire, and empower other people.
Nice.
Isn't that amazing?
Right, so she's using her sole purpose of being all she can be, helping others as much as she can. That's my theory. So good on you, Susan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's paid off. You've got a publishing contract with the best mind, body, spirit publisher in the whole world. What an achievement. I hope you've taken the time out to really pat yourself on the back with that one.
I try, but, you know.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
It's a dream come true. It absolutely is.
It is a dream come true, sweetheart. And master numbers, though, and I'm an 11 life path, and I don't know about you, John, but I'm going to ask you anyway, but master numbers, the downside of master numbers or the challenge for master numbers is that they often battle with self-doubt. So they take a lot of encouragement in their life to actually believe that they're as good as they are.
Absolutely. Well, I'm still learning to do that. And people are like, you're John Holland, start acting like it. I'm like, I'm just a man, guys, you know? So, Susan, you understand that. And you will come into your own, Susan, and where you say, you know what, where you will honor yourself and the work. And when Michelle says, pat yourself on the back, not I try, I am. I am doing that. You know what I mean? So try to do that and say, you know, without getting, you know, egotistical, you know, which you're not, and just say, you know, because when you say you try, it's like, you know, when in Star Wars, when Yoda says no try, either do or don't. So you pat yourself on the back and say, yes, I am. And, you know, congratulations and welcome to the Hay House family. So I'm sure I'm going to see you out there.
Thank you very much. Actually, Yoda's in my book. That's funny that you.
Hey, no,
oh my
well,
God.
synchronicity. You know what I mean? But Susan, can we get you? Would you like Michelle's oracle deck or her book?
Oh my goodness. I think I would like the deck.
Okay. All right, Susan. I'll see you out on the road, probably. Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. There you go. And remember, pat yourself on the back. Okay, so Joe, please give Susan, a future Hay House author. I just went to Amazon and checked out her name and her new book. Just give her the book, and we'll send it right there to New York, New York. And everyone, Michelle, we got time for a couple more calls. Don't worry. She said anyone who joins her email newsletter right now, okay, at michellebuchanan.co.nz, you will get a free chart of what you are, numerology for the year. So you can't beat that. And check out her online thing for $20 and 14 cents. And what's the date again of it?
Oh, yeah, it's April 1st.
Okay, so it's
April
coming
1st,
up.
Yep, 4 p.m. Pacific. So it's next week. So April 1st, 4 p.m. Pacific. And, of course, in Australia and New Zealand, that's the 2nd of April.
Right. And everyone, you don't have to be there live. You can actually download it and listen to it, too. So April 1st, 2014, $20.14, your 2014 numerology forecast, live online event. Let's see if we can grab a few more calls with the time that we have.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's go to line 7, Jennifer. Jennifer's on line 7.
Line 7 in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Hey, Jen.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, God, good energy on you, honey. Good energy. So
Thank you.
We got some time for your reading, so say hi to Michelle Buchanan.
Hi, Michelle.
Hey, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Listen to her.
You're more than welcome, and you have such a beautiful energy. You're so right, John.
Oh, thank you.
Are you, and so the 7th of June, is that a Gemini?
I am.
That bright, bubbly Gemini. Do you remember me saying, when I was doing John's numbers, that so many people that ring up from Hay House or that on Hay House have a 7 in their numbers?
Yes.
And you're born on the 7th of June, and you also have a 7 personality number.
Okay.
And so that's your spiritual side. That's the 7 is basically the life purpose of your 7 is here to basically say, what's my spiritual truth? What do I believe? And you won't even need to try, because life will tap you on the shoulder and give you food for thought and say, what do you make of this? You know what I mean? Like, you may have been brought up to believe certain things, but you've here to add your own flavour to that, or to take your own direction and to go, well, I'll take on board what I've learned, but I've got to sit with that and I've got to go, how does that resonate with me? What feels true for me? And sort of make it your own flavour. And that's constantly unfolding when you have a number 7. You think you've got it down, and then life will throw you something else to open your mind, and you'll go in a different direction. But one thing's for certain, you're in the best possible place you can be when you're connected with Hay House in some way, because 7s love Hay House, because it's the mind, body, spirit hub of all there is to know and learn, and 7s love to learn. Mm-hmm. But also, your life path number, which is the total of our birth date, is a number 8.
Right.
And so 8, that's a business number. That's a number that is either has potential to, if not be a team leader or a manager or a supervisor, to have their own business.
Right.
And if not have their own business, to at the very least, work autonomously. So have you ever been self-employed or a manager before?
I actually own my own business. I'm a massage therapist.
Wicked.
But I'm laughing about the life purpose because I'm kind of tuning in to learn how to be a medium.
Oh, my goodness.
And everything seems to, like, my massage practice is starting to die, and I used to have a 3-week waiting period.
Yeah.
And now I don't have any, but I think it's because I'm in transition.
You sure are.
I'm not sure.
You sure are. And I tell you what, darling, you've got the perfect numbers to do this. The perfect numbers to do this. You've got the 7s, which is all about the spiritual side and enhancing your connection with spirit also. Mm-hmm. But the 8 is self-employed. The 1, you've got a 1 destiny, which is about doing things your way. You may feel like you're completely different from people you know, and you may feel like you stand out like a sore thumb.
I do.
Yeah. But here's the thing. You're in a personal year. Now, last year you were in a 1 year. Now, we have what's called the personal year number. They run consecutively. So if you were in a 1 year last year, you'll be in a 2 next year. We're not necessarily all in the same personal year number. You're in a 2 year this year. You might have a best friend. They might be in a 5 year. And each year has a theme of what's going on that year. Now, last year you were in a 1 year, so it was a whole new cycle for you. And that whole new cycle is about forcing you to create a new beginning in your life.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, that's exactly what's happened, because circumstances have forced you to look at your life in a completely different way. And like you said, they've dried your business up in the massage area, and they're kind of forcing you to go into this other direction.
Right.
You're in a 2 year, so is John. You're going to be highly intuitive this year, more so than ever any other time. So use that to your advantage. Meditate more. Learn as much more as you can about mediumship. This is the perfect time to do all this. And I know we've only got like 2 minutes left, and John may need to say some things before closing up the show.
Okay, thank you, though.
But please email me through my website so I can send you your profile of numbers, a chart of your numbers, okay? Yes. And you'll get more information from that chart.
Okay.
And Jen, would you like the book? Jennifer, would you like the book or the oracle cards?
I think I'd like to try the oracle card.
Go for it.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Jen, and good luck with the work.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, stay on the phone. Joe, if you could send her Michelle Buchanan's numerology oracle cards, that'd be great. Michelle, what can I say? Numbers are the way to go. Everyone, today's guest is Michelle Buchanan. Her link is on my site. Her online event is also on my Facebook page. And if you want to get a hold of her, whether you want your chart, and free, if you're listening, you get on her newsletter from Hay House Radio, mentioning it today. And also michellebuchanan.co.n as in Nancy, Z as in zebra. Michelle, I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much. And have a numerologist, especially with your energy on the show. Always, always a great show. And I wish we could have got to all the calls, but everyone who's listening, you want your chart? Go to her site, guys. You know, we got Surinder, Michelle, Mary, and Frida, and, and Kathy there. So, Michelle, thank you so much, darling.
Thank you for having me, John. Thank you.
Okay, we'll see each other again. I know that for a fact.
All right, sweetheart.
Okay, thank you. Everyone, this is John Holland, and, I will be back next week. And like I say every week, guys, do something nice for someone out of the blue, just because being nice to someone out of the blue can cause a ripple effect that reaches farther than you can ever imagine. This is John Holland. So glad to be with you today with my guest, Michelle Buchanan. Have a fantastic week, everyone. This is John Holland on Spirit Connections. And, of course, this is Hay House Radio.